bad time, oba ware, okoni kufie, oba ware, one ne yere nete. Ubetu akwakodi woman chain, bosome mienu, bosome bako, echiana.
Me da semenfa asedaka sie emma ahwefo nyina me nchia mu nyama mu nyina a good month. We have entered into the month of December. In this month, we are going to do a lot of teaching on this mother-in-law relationship with daughters-in-law. Na adia ba kunso ambese me ka say me de nchia kese o wato nyum da.
Me to nyum da wo.
Oni nyum to. Ba me ma invitation Saturday o a special guest. Oni Madina.
Yeah, me Madina.
Okay, and the Madina estate uni je fanko.
Yeah.
Afibia ye bibi e friend star. Wajanko. Aden.
Ka
o ye wati so aka wie wie ni prako na yiritie. Adamfo ben.
Me wo fa kra na edi ne djuma ma no o man ne kwamna asante.
Kwamna asante e wo fa.
Oh.
O ye wo fa. Kwamna
Ah.
asante Adum FM. Adum TV.
O papa kra nya me wo fa.
Eti e wo fa na kasa yie.
Me papa mpo.
E so mpe ma enti na e mo na say.
Abi o ti na me kasa e ya busua. Enti wo de o papa.
Onu ye ka TV personally bi ti bi on pe. Enya buo sem on pe ma.
Obu ne ho so.
There be obu de yifi oba me ti on pe ma e kwamna asante. On ti say we boy we. Ni di ni ba me ba kire o. Onu pe ma pa obo ade.
Hwe asante wa say de o kan nyina wate.
No be there.
Na wo wi a studio ha no impie.
Said in plan your body. Don't care about you. Tio Saturday, yeah, 5th of December. A stars in worship. Stars in worship. A simple place. Any baby house of miracle. Jefanko kona wa. Stars in worship. Obia fahobi. All the stars in Ghana, they are going to worship God.
Oh, okay.
Why should I tell you to sorry?
Somebody
about 3 times. I bet to sorry you 3 times. When the share so baby, the honor bet to sanyo wero uka sanyo na above o the sanyo no bet to you honor bet to. Eti ye share stars in worship. Ye be sum nyame abon paye towards peaceful elections. Eti me to safro bia December to remember with Prophet Samson Amwate no. The Saturday bia no stars in worship. Bra meja ko nyesi wa ma special guest na go say mama mi kenye o ba dress yi fa we a girl we a virgin area out no go for breaking virginity nya betena ho and the dress yi na bra stars in worship. You are all invited. It's free. Come with your COVID practice. Let's join all our stars, Lewin and the rest, to worship God. But any discussing managing dealing with difficult mother-in-law. Now, yes, in the first place, I'm going to do a basic definition of who a mother-in-law is. Or, yes, who a mother-in-law is. Skin cry hard dry. Who a mother-in-law is. Who is a mother-in-law? Who is a mother-in-law in the first place? And Pempino, say, one mother-in-law. We have 2 sets or 2 forms of a mother-in-law. And there's a process that one must go through to have an in-law. And before Rebecca said, a mother-in-law is bad, a mother-in-law is evil, a mother-in-law is like this. We should be very careful that is it true that the person is a mother-in-law or a father-in-law? When we don't understand the protocols of in-lawship, then we can misbehave towards them. The mother-in-law. Unfortunately for us, Yeni bibia a friend mother-in-law to be. There's nothing like that. There is either a mother-in-law or there's no mother-in-law. The topic is dealing with difficult mother-in-law. You cannot deal with a mother-in-law. So that statement should not be used. You can't deal with a mother-in-law. You can only manage difficult mother-in-laws. Unfortunately for us, every difficult mother-in-law is made by the son. What you gave us here? And ye can't say no more. You want sinu mienu. You want beba nechi for. You want bad nechi for. Na enkrofo made yo ti sa beyefo ne mbonsam ye beba nechi for. Be me bia wubusuafo ya beyefo mo mpa wade ekoyi. They compete with the woman in the marriage. Ensure the basic rudiments of who is an in-law. So 1, you only have an in-law when out of the 5 categories of women you have been put in one, which is the most expensive one. They here. And man, no man, me say, ya bomb man, man, me say back here, then Obi ya wareno, Obi ya ne train plan, or ya ne ya bemagro, Obi ya oba na so ya bema downful, Obi ya na wa your friend baby mama, Obi ya ne we na so no be kun na train plan, your friend side chick. So the standard is that these 5 women, there's only one among them that can be advertised, and the one among them is the one that can have an in-law. Bema de wo na ya Vanessa, who need in-law. And if Vanessa cut a funny face, mommy, a mistake. Don't go and live with the man who has a child with you's mother. The children has a grandmother, but you don't have an in-law. The year last week, I said, the right to serve my guest is not yours. It's the right of my wife, because onuna ni mother-in-law we am pramamike and pranamine watching. We am a side chick. So you are just a guest. And you are also supposed to be served by my wife, who have lost the mother-in-law. So in-laws are made through marriage. Hear me. Who is an in-law? An in-law is the family relation of the spouse of an individual. So when a man marries you, like I marry you today, your family members become my in-law. So I have a mother-in-law, I have a father-in-law, I have brother-in-law, I have sisters-in-law. We don't have cousins-in-law. There's nothing called step-brother-in-law, step-sister-in-law. There's nothing like that. As a matter of fact, in Grofo Nim said, so we didn't back a step. Me too, me mana me de ba wa de ase ni nyina no. Omo nya me mbana ma wo omo no step. Omo nya step. Ye nim sa de no. Oba de akola ba wa de ase a na ye step. Ba me ti we nkola me wo ni de msa ba wo aka wo nanse no. Omo nyina ba, omo nya step.
Okay. E ma ni wo mu die.
Oba bia de akola ba wa de ase ne step. Enti de nya be me bia se de bi so oba de akola ba wa de ase abehwe no. Opa na ahwe. Enye nhye. Eti na funny face etutu na no ka your pet. Efa Vanessa hono me na anya adwe no. Vanessa wo kwa awade ase a sese wa wo miensa. Ana nine you have twins in it no. Pe be ma papa no walo. Na niwa nyonyam ene ne nyansa mu do se funny face. Na so wo kwa me fa nkola ne endi wani. Me ma mu ndi wani. Be the choice for the man. They will understand how to marry as a bon one. But the me can say, and to bon one be any or what mother-in-law. However, or be a bon one bon two because or why any clue we. And ye wale with dear or in-law. So we are talking about how to manage difficult in-laws, not deal with. Because you see, dealing with somebody, not just any one who what I want they want to so. But unfortunately for you, you have no power over your in-laws. So how do we manage difficult mother-in-laws? One, once we have established who an in-law is a mother, a father, a sibling of a spouse. So if they have not married you, you don't have an in-law. What would tear me for same way to have you? Tear me. So would you be trimpna? Nani pano, enya a year when you fear. Ana BBS womu fie. Na ye say omu invite you say bra. Ana ye will say you are said yes say woko. Na wonku bi ye birthday party. Ko birthday party men ko yi na se. Wasi wuye. Be ma bu kwasia no anyem no ne won woye. No ne wa wo ma. Na ni ma mi wu a. Enkola na wo ne wa wo no omu nana na ewu. Wasi wuye. Enti men ko ye nsi yie. Men koji ensi yensa obode. Don't go and behave like an in-law. So this is the rules governing in-laws. One of the most difficult in-laws you can ever find are the mothers of the men that we are getting married to. Me, my mother is very difficult towards my wife. And that makes my wife see my mother as a witch. because my mother behaves like a witch.
Attitude, no.
The thing she does to my wife makes my wife see her as a witch. But garbage in, garbage out. One of the things I've come to learn is that people say that if you maltreat somebody's daughter, somebody will also maltreat your daughter. It's not true. And you're not correct. Because if my mother will become a witch to my wife, I am the cause. Hear me, oh. If your mother-in-law is not fine with you, disrespectful, the first reason why your mother-in-law doesn't respect you as a wife for the son is because your husband is not useful. He is useless. And the word useless is not an insult, but is that you are not used fully. If your husband is properly aligned, if your husband is truly a husband in the relationship, his mother can never disrespect you. Eti se obebi wa wadiem na na ase ba tete no emfa ne nya hwe a emfi oba no efi oba ne kunu na mother-in-law so ade ba ko a mami ke mo mpe wo mo ho no se asrasra mebo a. So watch it here. Managing this mother-in-law, your mother-in-law be a mami ke wuti we mawalo me no na ti mi fie. The entire abaka me mama nya ne se yeti wu me ni wu mawalo aba mi fie ena me maame abesra wo me maame besra wa oyeden oye ho wo na nyesa na. When my mother visits us, she is what? A visitor. Or and when you get visitors, what are you supposed to do, Mami K? Thank you. One, you were married to come and serve my family. But you don't serve my family in my family house. This is the mistake. Oh. The problem we have with in-laws are that when my mother visits our house, my wife's duty is to serve my mother. My mother must not come and cook for us in that house. If you are a qualified wife, your mother-in-law will not be your cook in your house. Any woman that your mother-in-law cooks for you and your husband, your marriage will collapse. Or baby, I will share me now. What's about the red granny will fear my woody wukunu? Because your mother-in-law can't be your cook. Your mother-in-law cannot be your babysitter. There is a protocol that must be followed. She is supposed to be served. No wife has the right to see the nakedness of her mother-in-law. It's a curse. Vice versa. Wasiba eni hu kwanda so be hu adagem. Enti me yire yi ni hu a me ma me ni hu kwan so be hu me yire adagem. Enti na mamre mu ni se me yire hu a enye me ma me na be ba be hwe no. Hwan na se be hwe no? Ne ma me. Asa eni na busuafo. Enti we nya ade bia ye ba be ko hu. Enye bibia ba be negotiate. Eni ye wo first born no. We e ba ye. Enti second born no. Me na wo se me ba. Enkanka brochie fo de asante fo nya brochie de. Na we ko na we ba. Yem frɛ ho. Ye pepa. Se wo pese wo dware wo nana wo ba. Na koko dware no. Oba ba ewo a wo na be koko dware wo nana. Na oba be ma wo a oba ni ma me na be dware se oba be se o tren so hie so na na ede ye twa na se na opese ya pepa no ho. Na dejamu ense se na se ba hu. Your mother-in-law must not see your nakedness. Same should your wife not see your mother's nakedness. So why is your mother sick and you have brought your mother to come and live with you and your wife is the one bathing your mother? It's a curse to your wife. When we say there's a mother-in-law, there is a law that makes that woman part of my life. I am your husband. You are my wife. So your mother is my in-law. So between the two of us, I am the main person you pass through before you can go to your mother. I am the law. So I can't address your mother direct. If I want to talk to your mother, I should go through you because you are the law. It is a me mommy ebesraye wo yefia. Wasede ne se obeseve no. Se ba bia etine se edi nsuo si adware a eye wasede se odi nsuo be si adware mama me. Uti da beta. Eduane mambedi, wona abeche de obenu ama mama edi. Tie me. Unram na me akon aduane wo efi ho. No. You are not supposed to cook what my mother want to eat in her house. You are supposed to cook what your husband deserves to eat in her house. That is why when you allow your mother-in-law to cook for you, she cooks what the son likes. My favorite food, do you know my favorite food? It's my wife's best meal. My favorite, do you know my condo pano? I am a year, do you know no pa? What was saying? The husband's favorite food should be the best meal of the wife, not your mother's meal. And it is asantini waya ibenia. Tie me. Asantini bema. Uko waya ibeni ba. Eduane esa ibeni ba ne wanuama wa ese do kon ma ya wa kon aduane no. Enye aduane a wo maame no ama wo a wo pe. Ese ya ibeni ba na aduane asese wa no a wo kon abeso. Eteje fufuo. Any iwiawian kwan. Enti waya ibeni ba.
What do you kwan da?
Medibida. Esa gatin kwan minim no anso.
Oh yeah, sure.
Me from India grow. Oh, my baby, no. But
now, boss said,
now, yeah, to say crew applicable. But any wrong.
Yeah.
Say, wouldn't even know.
But also,
Any by force.
And
you crumadian. There be no crumadian.
Maybe a crew.
So when you marry a gun or you marry an ewe, and the mother comes to visit you, you don't cook ewe food for them. What do you cook for them? Your specialty. It is a way as Santina Reverend Kwan and them one. What's the barber few honor? A Duani Ben now pesa ukumudi, a Reverend Kwan, and two kumute wa, or di, and the crew maybe an enemy mameno. You don't cook the choicest meal of your mother-in-law for her in your house. Let's see the things very well. So an in-law is a visitor in your house. When your in-law visits you, their behavior is not the same like when you go and visit them. Hear me here. When you want to see how your in-law is, when they visit you, the way you treat them and the way they receive your treatment tells you the way you have been welcome to the house. So I say, if you have a bad mother-in-law, an evil mother-in-law, that mother-in-law is evil because of your husband. When you marry a useless man, your mother-in-law will never take you for anything. Number two, before marriage, the way you carry yourself in the sight of your husband's family also makes you useless in front of the family. Oblitiagbo. Only oblitiagbo. I was one born there.
Hey, can't say around to.
What's your answer? I won't fast one day. If you grow one o'clock,
Maya.
open the door. Mobile say, Kuno, what the ball about? What take her? Nothing. If I'm not it, and you cannot it. What take her? Not take her. Said, what if I be tripping? What is your granny? Fabi tripping, Mr. Casaro.
It is the same. I know what's here. Nancy open so would be cocoa and such a me and Nancy a secret. Ain't winker.
Secret.
I do a canny tree.
Like with a tree.
Yeah, they're okay.
See me. No cool woman say. A dear be a young sooner yet, they say. Or baby, I would hear me. Son, I'll be your home. I'm a bushyan, I see about Wallono. Son, a bushyan babu. And ye careful. Mammy came on Wale. I think I mentioned something who my wallow are coming here. A sell to one. A sell tower, dear so. And soon as that woman see what it's soon to us for. A sell tower, dear so. Now, what you better see a Mimawale? So now, funny face, pay me. Number tower, dear so. And yes, I'm tossing American, make ourselves. Santa Tower, dear so, you were still with you. One shy any hustle. No one can take it inside. And your dinner when you can take it your house, be a with you. If you can see my mama. Then, Obia was here, I had the piano when you be, as we did before. Gosh, are your jab with Jelleco? Gosh, are your jab with Jelleco? What is that? And you need that. Oh, Oblayo, just a bit. What is that? You need that? Okay. And California, you need a foot too. What must I say? But the air can say, oh, baby, I'll be what dear one. She said, won't tongue who cheap. Number 2, if you are going out with a guy and you share stories of your life with the guy, be careful that the guy will not share your before story with the family. So reasons why some in-laws don't give you respect is because your husband shared your story with them. And I mean, I mean, neighbor fear man. Muni mami ke pa wa humbe pa na asemo. Ne hu duo, get away bra wa bre. Or your baby a baby be a fan that or your virgin. Send no tiemba ka se wa se nyama short no peshe. Hwe ne budi he onsren kubia obuade enye onu anka. Hwe ni mami wuye. Ni mapa ware ni maame no, ni papa ni dwane kotire Nigeria. Na onfi Nigeria e ba no. Omo ye nkwale nson. Ni maame tombo yes sad. Once your husbands begin to tell their family how you have struggled, the family loses respect for you.
Counselor, a rebel show no.
Or today.
A friend and an ama free man.
Or today.
I know I bond with counselor Nami.
Near who? Some now thinking that you are thinking of your
Now, a running a wolf a pow.
The picture never home. The picture and the picture no.
And warfare. I'm so when I need you to also best send me message.
I'm a me. Or best send you a message. I'm a me. Send a message direct to me 0277 609 644. Send it WhatsApp to me. Don't pass it through my Mickey. You know, don't destroy your future. So tell me. So for you to have and manage a difficult in-law, check the foundation. How were you presented to the family? Tell me. You may say a counselor be. I feel no sooner make a crank a class say. Say yan wale near no call as if ya or quatia busuan any. No. Mamike, me no go busuan me bawalo. Na me no call ebusi fie and ne kochia me mammy. Now call a mammy or kitchen red biania. It is disrespectful to go and cook in my mother's kitchen.
Okay.
Yes. Atadia adeti way and your kitchen atadia so nimza. So anytime I take you to my family house to go and greet or to go and meet my mother and have exchange pleasantries, no, bro, focus on me. Come on, focus here. Your dressing is the best dress, and how they go. So you don't take your best dress to the kitchen. There was a council on TV saying that a good woman is a woman that comes to the mother-in-law, the son, a guy no be wale no, be man wale no kofia, e busuafo hwedi, sana be nyama wo ho, e na be kye se be yirepa, me say se wo be sra wo fe me it's already makanda. Abaye bi anam ne twempra. Me trasa na wale me twempra 32, ma 32 na me o twempra. Ade.
E do so do.
Na wo manage you na manage you.
So to me manage.
Sana oti we here, enya ofede ese sana oti we. Who one boyfriend? A girl who has only one boyfriend for more than 1 year has a mental deficiency. They are sick. And kaka mo twa member fi abrochire dia mu jimi so. Men to sabe. To sabe kra. Me twa me fa me kokra na me pesa me fa ho. Betie me. Tie me. Men ko be mo be ware ngusu afie. Udu ho a. Wo she nice dress say. Now I say by no chia no oba ho te se mo ho ye. Na o pam fufu a. Wa koje wo ma no. Team. It doesn't make you a good wife. You reduce yourself to care for the family. That's what I'm saying. Me church and when the whole of December did because I say, young Cassia, may be my young buyen. Now you would have what you do if you want her. Yeah, that I'll say, a child, yeah. You call party. Make it your last week say, young Wale, when I had the best caterer, only 7 million about. And the boy on in a train brown. Boy, no fear. Obi adi ni baby, I need so many your love. Na me fa ni nika ko. Na ko no jollof of you. Ye wale wie. Na wo nya me ne be no jollof na ye se wasesa. Dana samwa. Na se osu ba sesa. Ne be tunum abodin. Enti don't start what you can continue. Let there be a distinction between you when you visit them in the house. The way you address. Count 9 to so. What tell me? Body line clothing I'm share and then they shoe ya me share. If you miss a young, come on. I say white, no. I say white, come on. Me dem natural me kai say me share shoe a yefe pa. Me da must say me shoe yefe. But hear me. Ko count 9 so. Ye ma aduane di wi a me go so plate mu. Hear me oh. The day will teach you how to prepare to marry. Your mind, you are missing me. Make a kitchen home to plate. So hear me. When you don't present yourself properly to the man you are going to marry's family, they become difficult in law for you. But the difficulty here is that the man's family are the bad ones. The woman's family are not bad. They are very good. So we are discussing the man's family. When your mother-in-law comes to visit you, you are to serve her. But when you visit her, they are to serve you. Two different things. Mamike, wuti we semene wo kɔ ye fie eyi ewo ye busu ma wala nam do kɔ ye busu fie a anopa wo be sɔre no se me di nsuo me nua ketewa no de odi machi no odi nsuo se aduare ma aduare. You are not supposed to go to me my family house and still go and serve me there as a wife because you don't know anyone in the house. But that is where they begin to insult you. And on the year be fear obashedem onyeshe. No, you are a visitor in this house. Mamike, you are a visitor in my family house. So you don't have rights to go to kitchen. You don't have right to go and fetch water. You don't have rights. But when you don't do it, they say you are lazy. That is where the unrest, your mother-in-law begins to see you are a bad wife. The only way your mother-in-law will see whether you are good or not is when she visits you in your house. Now hear me. Bemo ye wudini, and no worry about a single room. A sound dinner, mammy, that's or mess around. 3 years ago, get me friend in the say counselor. Samaya Bonnie, I catch them. One in a day. Bearman that wanted the next single room be obey the wind self contain, obey the wind self contain. Can't we say near the force get your chim and a piano crossbar bit that will say, and we are share manions and raw food. Your beer cat is out in pounds with them. Osrea and 9 I brand now while no worry, no mammy, Nasty Babette no single room. Anna Nikrunu say, ne mammy, why are you on it? It's you to me in that form. It's your bano, any nasty bar, and a damn person on the crew bench, and that 3-1 hole, and your hole. Mammy tea, the Cosi and say, nasty bar, they say, needed a da on manenda as a 1 chrome. The mother-in-law says, the daughter-in-law snores so much when they sleep. Then the husband says, if that is the case, the wife should come and join her in the chair on the floor so that their mother will sleep on the bed. And everybody on that day when we're doing the discussion says, the woman should humble herself and sleep on the floor with the husband so that their mother, the man's mother, will sleep on the bed. This is a curse. It's a curse. Because when they say marriage is honorable and the bed is undefiled, when your mother-in-law comes to sack you from your marital bed and sleeps on your marital bed, the bed is defiled. So before you entertain your mother-in-law, your husband must know where he's taking you to marry you, so that the privacy of your wife can be intact. Last 3 months, Muna boy be heading Komona, get and say, and to come with you, dear Nasama, to say my wallow, and I mean you are any abranti cameraman or best school or crapple, no trying a hawker cra. By yet dana a Timunangasan and yet pianiasa, but a single room self contained. Well, a single room, and I edit a film be a shame, finish inside. And to a branch and say, get and say, a branch and the first cat in that chim say, Balco Junsa, this a room, and to Fabian Panel, no cotton so I call you. And to get us your shady nature. Where Daddy was your Sasra, or Bower in was Sasra. Uncle Shankosha, New Kunumia Bearman, where Wim or Wim Cotton so. Where you in Bearman or Quack was a member dear. You can't say free range the man. Missy, could you come to be in the office? Somebody not take off. But must say, you're penitable, you are there. And the brother-in-law just chanced on her once he has removed his mail. Oh, sorry, sister. And no sanity. Obika sorry, I want to be. And again, see the kunu buy. No catch him say. Say unyano. Ye baby man and cotton. Na ye how tino. Bema ko kwa pa. Umbe busa fase. Na hwen some fua. Bema ni bisa no. Udwen say me nua bema no. Obet me the wada na. You see that relationship. The fact is that before you invite your in-laws to come, if you respect your wife, if the place you are living is not conducive, you don't bring your mother to come and become a nuisance to your wife. So before we say there's a difficult mother-in-law, let's check the foundation. It is the foundation that will make somebody's mother a difficult one, acceptable one. But every wife watching me this morning, know that your mother-in-law will forever be a witch. Every woman who has a son is a future troublesome mother-in-law and a witch in the making. So my wife is. And to one by one, my bema no dear who. Me remember woman in me don't bekasa. Na oyene ni say a osyawo. And you see that time catch up be say we are small by penny for can say be anti ase. Me ti we me hu me yire wie you. Enti mani age. Yes you person hu sna yire be da ache a. Hwe hwan. Ah, enti so utie yie na de oyire ma me twempena adoma arakwa. Eso ni da ache. Unu sa oyire enti sa oyire uti awade ho na oyire ne maame oyire maame ene ne papa egusu hye so ye happiness. They are still having sexual intercourse. They are happy. It means that in future, when your wife grows like the mother, she will still give you a chance to have sexual intercourse with. But in case you see that your mother-in-law is no more having sexual intercourse, is not fine with your father-in-law, it means that in future your wife will do the same thing to you. If your wife's mother is 60 and her breast has fallen on her thighs, then know that your future generation, your wife's breast is coming to the thigh. Look for a nice ladder to climb. She seen a tear in her go. And the dear can say, Oba mame enye nuisance da. Babema mame ye. But it is your first way of presentation. And then my children say, the way you manage your mother-in-law is where she's coming. When your mother-in-law comes to your house, your duty is to do what? Serve her. She has no right to make decisions in your house. Don't allow your mother-in-law to make decisions in your house as a wife. The word is don't. Your mother-in-law cannot come to your house and organize prayer meeting and invite you. It's your choice to attend or not to attend. Okay, that is where the problem is. That your mother-in-law comes to your house and she's the one determining menu tianopa. No, so no, so mother-in-law no tianopa, and no problem. Only in Tinada, and yan nebano. Nebani and nim said, I mean, tianopa. And in Kosia, milk, Milo, any day can one as a toba. Don't waste your money in buying things for your mother-in-law to keep yourself in her good books. No wife can be in the good books of any woman. No wife. So managing them is first and foremost. Learn how to manage yourself so you can manage. And then I can say, what's about Besrawa? What do you do? Nami adum next week. You bet you them say, what's about wo kosrano swear? What's what I say? Wo kosra what's about? Kai say oba ufie no. You determine what goes on in your house. So when you go and visit her, who determines what goes on in the house? That's what. So this is what it is to manage a difficult mother-in-law. Put in the right ingredients so they can get the right soup. They cannot be difficult, but keep in your mind, every man's mother is difficult because they compete with you in the marriage.
Pastor, next week.
And next one,
next week, no, not just say, yeah, pick a course. Because I never run a foundation. And yes, and
but Jamio, but we can't have a man through. So one, miracle about me a simple thing. Don't think that entertaining your mother-in-law and being in her good books will give you good marriage. No. If you're already married, be a wife to your husband. Be a daughter to your family. If you have children, be a mother to your children. You being an in-law, your position is to operate through your husband. This is Christmas. Don't give more things to your mother-in-law than your mother. Your husband's duty is not to take care of your mother. Your husband's duty is to take care of you. Who? So ami ke mtie ene se ma se ba yale na me mama yale a me di sika be hwe me mama na ma se ba wu na me di sika na aka na ye na yi. You understand what I'm saying? The simple thing is that when my mother is not well, when my mother is not well and my wife has money and her mother is not well, she's supposed to spend the money on her mother, not my mother. It is my duty to take care of my mother. It is your duty to take care of your mother. So when your husband is not giving you money to go and give it to your mother, it doesn't make your husband a bad person. It is not the duty of your husband to take care of your mother for you. Hear me, in-laws, please, remember that you have a son first and became somebody's husband and have become somebody's father. Know the distinction between it. Operate through your son to your daughter. Let her have blessings from you than curses. When your daughter-in-law delivers, it is not your responsibility to go and bath for the child. Only which women want to bath for their grandchildren when they don't have daughters. And ma be for the person dware omuna na no mo a omuni maba. Who person dachi? Who dware nkwala aya wo a wo ba. Na usubenti mema nkwa na wo ye. Jai. No be sure ba no. Anybody watching me and you don't know how to manage your in-law, so every day there is fight, there is confusion. 0277 609 644. And yen talk. Men bon pay ntia mother-in-law because owu a nsiye yo eyeya. Jan pay bono. Ngofo bebre de mother-in-law pictures a go do prophet bi na ase. And the bon pay go mother-in-law. Tie me. Uko wari abrantie bi na ne ma say on prayer. Men for so wari abrantie no because dachi on be ya chiro de ti omon pe say wari ne ba be ma 0277 609 644. December to remember. House of Miracle, Jefanko, Medina Estate. Saturday day stars and worship. Mami K baby. MFA Krabe Faho. Never for Sikrum no make up our own. Won't say be near the crew. The Sremo. Asanto an invitation. And woman in share Facebook. But Saturday, exactly 5 o'clock, Empire Beja, House of Miracle. December to remember. Show ne koso sa. But Saturday there, it starts in worship. Yambra I met to Michelle and Kupeni Unyam. Yambo Empire ma peaceful election. That's a net. Mesamba have you. Set Monday, you met to win Monday. And the Friday me bano. Ne o president elect. Na ma baha. No I bet 2 win and then you. Na ma baha no ma bet sleep you lose you know. Na hona krombe de ese ne agya ne papa no motia no. Se no mo ya de na efe pa.
Ai, omumienu de.
Se no mo ya enti omu lose nzu a. Mo omumienu no mra. Ne be hwe se. Why the best wine? Why the best mama? 0277 609 644. Don't deal with your mother-in-law. Manage your mother-in-law. But before marriage, carry yourself well so that you not become a nuisance in a relationship. This is how far time has allowed you.
Now, Councillor Lutrot, yeneno edium komo. If I senia, you bet to me manage your mother-in-laws. Our most one. Omo ya dream says we share woman yasi. Any one more time, intimacy. Oh, yeah, aya, on Pawasam. Yafe, and I'll be trying to Yamano. And I ye kind, you may be cried your mamma can, Eddie can't send. Or say, what was so good Tata who cry on Pawasam to Miss Slow? Chain, not stress and you'll be managing a year and go fast them, and fa, Emma. I am I and Sueni, be Obu Crampa or two Punumua, a baby. Yes, I saw a series, who say, or a troublesome better. They are same ever. Ye nante ekura wo nipa animu no e ka asem wonam na wo twe won ase won anim
na wo ofia utumi twe won ase
counselor
me sana me nante wo sana wo te wo sana to do so sana nante
me nante na ahodi
na so she da bu she hila na tisa na da ba ofia na mo hwe sana na se cho ati wo ofia wo sana nante
counselor
wa se ba ntumi ntwe sana nante wo ofie me say next week mati esam what will determine how you should behave. Obi dressing and say back and say go is get na she na what do you mean? How dare you? What do you mean? To tell your husband's wife atade ashe no koyi trouser na tight to do kona koyi na ya oba
makeup no dross
na say obi wa dia say na say back e copy pa makeup no open to go sorry them
ya so adena ya mo yesa
I pay for you
me nka ho mesra mo
adena ya bloody kafra
ya da ya wa ba wai na ya ba to aso how's that? When this by
na say how
we are paid for.
Mami rapi up na me ko. Woni ga jodi wa. Me da say ne dia ni fi bukura me dia mo ha. The woman said how to manage difficult mother-in-law. Don't deal with them. But the way you are watching me right now, whoever you are, if you are not married, manage yourself well so that they will carry well. Don't go to your mother-in-law to be's house, those in court to be not properly dressed. If they don't respect you from day one, they will never respect you for the rest of your life. It's campaign time. If you know your husband's family are NPP, don't go there and go and start your mama. Otherwise, when they lose, you are in trouble. When they win, you are in trouble. Friends and loved ones, learn how to manage yourself on 0277 609 604. All wicked mother-in-laws, I greet you. God punish you. See you again another time. I've been